Alright guys, welcome to Siberia. It's a very cold day today. It's minus 28 degrees Celsius now, and I'm going for a drive just back from the mall, driving back home. So today guys, I wanted to talk about an important topic about your skill set, because if you want to be a free man, if you want to keep your freedom, perhaps you're already a free man, but because you are free today doesn't mean you will be free tomorrow, you know? So all right, here we go. Very cold outside. So you need the right skill set in order to give me a sec, to keep your freedom in the long run. So what am I talking about exactly? Is it about money, about skills? Yes, it's about skills. It's about languages, about foreign languages. You should learn foreign languages, and I will tell you why. There are reasons. Pretty busy tonight. Here we go. Oh, it's slippery as well. Minus 30 degrees at most. Okay, here we go. So, about foreign languages. Why you should learn foreign languages if you haven't started yet. No matter what your first language is, even though your first language is English, and most likely it is, if you're watching this video somewhere from America, the US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the UK, your first language is most likely English. So you could argue with me and say, okay, it doesn't matter, I already speak the language of money, the language of business, and in some ways you could be right, but you know, the world is changing now. You don't know what the world will look like tomorrow. So perhaps today the language of money, the language of business is English, and I somewhat agree with that. But world is changing, and you see what's going on here in the West, you know, the riots, immigration problems, less and less freedom of speech, freedom of movement. So at one point you may have to move. In fact, you already have to move. If I have one advice to give you now, it's move your ass out of the West and go live somewhere in Eurasia, in Russia, or in Eastern Asia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, etc. At least move to Eastern Europe, even though I wouldn't recommend you to move to Eastern Europe, because Eastern Europe is still Europe. It's still the European Union, you know. So you're not really changing the game. But anyway, learn foreign languages for several reasons. First reason, you don't know tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow the most important language you have to know for business, for opportunities, will be Russian, or you know, Mandarin Chinese, Japanese, or some other Asian languages. First, that's the first reason. And secondly, once you have already learned one or two or three languages, you already know how to learn languages by yourself. You don't need a teacher. You don't need to learn how to learn in languages already. You already know the trick. You know already how to acquire a new tongue on your own. So, for example, if let's say you move to Russia this year, you learn Russian. You speak Russian on a daily basis. Russia, as far as I see on a daily basis, because I live here in Siberia, is doing fine for now, but you don't know tomorrow. You don't know in 5, 10, 20, 30 years how the situation will be in the world, in Russia, and in other places, in other cities, other countries. So perhaps in a few years you will have to learn a new language again. So It could be, for example, Brazilian Portuguese. Let's say Russia is turning into a shithole in 10-20 years, which most likely won't be the case, but let's imagine, just for an example here. Now, you're living now in Russia, doing fine, speaking Russian, but maybe after 10 or 20 years, you have to learn a new language from scratch, because you're starting over a new life, scratch, somewhere else, someone else, you know. So, and then you have to acquire a new language, to learn a new language. So, if you have got the skill, you know how to learn any language by yourself quickly and efficiently, you won't worry about, oh shit, I have to learn a new language, it will be difficult, I will struggle a lot, it will be difficult to make business, to communicate with people. My ability to thrive locally will be limited. Just give me a sec. It's very busy today here, anyhow. And okay, here we go. Very busy, and people seem to go, I don't know where, but they are in a hurry. Anyway, so if you already speak several languages, it will be easier for you to move, and you don't have to worry about, do I know the language? Can I adapt to the local culture? You already know the language. You won't face difficult times locally. If you already speak several languages, no matter which languages, it will be easier for you to pick up other languages, because you already know how to learn other languages. And another important point, you could still argue with me and say, okay, I know, Kublai, I don't give a fuck about languages. I do have an online business. I'm doing pretty well, making my money online, so it doesn't matter where I live, and it doesn't matter which language people speak where I live. I talk in English or in French or in German on a daily basis with my customers, who I really need to serve in my company, because I do have English, German, French-speaking customers, and it doesn't really matter which language is spoken where I live, because it won't make me any money. My business is online and it's related to the Western world, so I don't have to learn another language. Again, in some ways you're right, but for how long will it last? You don't know. You don't know for how long it will last. For example, now I'm doing pretty well in the French language. I'm starting over again because I want a new challenge in English, but maybe in 5-10 years I will have to switch to Russian or to to Japanese, for example, because the world will have changed, and the English speaking market and French speaking market won't be worth it anymore. You know what I mean? Excuse me, it's very busy here, so I have to be careful, and slippery as well. So here's okay. So it doesn't matter, for example, if I lose a business in French or even in English, if I still speak Russian or Japanese or Mandarin Chinese, for example, I can easily switch to another market, another market, which will be much more worth it, much more worth my time, and where I will go where the money is. You should go where the money is as well. For example, now the money is still in French, and on the French-speaking market there are still some money to make. I wouldn't go as far as to say, oh, the French market is almost finished. No, it's not true. There's still some money to make. The English-speaking market is still, of course, worth it, which is nowadays the most interesting market, I would say. But maybe in 5-10 years, the Russian market will start to grow, and our Western European markets will decline, and then we'll have to switch to Russian. But I don't give a fuck, because I already speak Russian fluently. I speak, understand, write and read Russian fluently, so I don't give a shit, you know. I've been living here for almost 10 years now, and I know this country well, this culture well, the language well. So if I have to switch to a Russian market, because tomorrow the Russian market is where it's at, Okay, no worries. I will just make a switch. I do speak some Mandarin Chinese as well, not fluently. I used to speak Mandarin Chinese pretty fluently. Haven't practiced for a while, but it shouldn't take me more than, let's say, 3 up to 6 months to reach a good level of fluency in Mandarin Chinese. So I've still got that skill as well. Let's say tomorrow China opens its borders to the international market, and the Chinese language will be the language you need to master to make money, to thrive, to be free, to be a free man, to keep your freedom. Don't worry, I won't worry anyway. No, I will just refresh my Mandarin, and oh, here we go. I launch a new business in Mandarin Chinese. Same for Japanese. You know, now I'm currently learning Japanese, and I believe, and some will argue with me, but it doesn't matter because I have a different way of looking at things. But I believe Japan is a country of the future because they tend to keep their nation. They tend to protect their borders, which keeps them strong, which keeps the Japanese nation strong. So I believe Japan will be an important country in the future, a rich country. So I do invest in the Japanese language. So okay, my Japanese skills aren't that good now, but if you give me a few years, I will be speaking Japanese at a very good level. And if I have to make a switch, I have to switch to the Japanese market, I wouldn't worry because I keep all my sales. I will keep all my sales skills, all what I know, all the skills I've been using on the French market, for example, for years. All the skills I've been using on the Russian, English-speaking markets, and I will just transpose it to the Japanese, Russian, or Chinese market. You get the idea anyway. But anyway, I wanted to emphasize this skill, to talk about this, because sometimes people tend to think, oh, anyway, my English is my first language, I don't have to learn another language. No, you're wrong. You will have to, especially now. The West is fucking going nowhere. So at some point you will have to move first, and most likely you will have to a switch will be made somehow. I believe the economic future is in Asia, China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, etc., even Southeast Asia. So at some point you have to switch from the Western income mentality, as I will call it, you know. So from, okay, I make my money in the West, so I'm well off in a Eastern country. That's true today, but it doesn't mean it will be true tomorrow. I'm like you know. I make my income from the Western world, but I live in Russia, and with this system I'm quite well off here. But I'm pretty sure that it won't last forever, you know. And I will have to focus on other markets. So that's why I keep working on my foreign languages, even though I don't really need foreign languages in my life at this point. I already speak English, French, Dutch, which is my mother tongue, and Russian, of course, which is the language I use on a daily basis here where I live in Siberia. But I'm still curious about learning other languages, because you don't know tomorrow it could help me a lot. Okay, anyway, if you like this video, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. And if you like this content, all the videos I've been making so far, don't forget to share this video and all the other videos with like-minded people, with your friends, with your family, if they are like-minded. And that's all for today. Don't forget to check the links here below in the description. Under this video, in the description, you will find some links which I strongly recommend you to check out. And that's all for today. Bye for now, guys.